against the tide. I wanna forget you, but you pull me in. I know this ocean is far too wide. I wanna forget you, let me forget you. Push and pull, but you repel me, giving up this fight. Love and hate rewrite the lines. I'm giving up this fight. You've lost, but I don't feel I have won. I wanna forget you, but only time will heal.
All right. What is going on? What is good? What up? What up? Hope all is well with you guys today. I have no complaints myself. You know, air conditioning got fixed. Yeesh. So we're blessed, man. We are big blessed. Speaking of blessed, I might have to take this headset off because I can't even fucking hear myself right now. As far as announcements go, I don't have too many things, but we do have a couple. All right, so sometimes it's not about quantity, but sometimes it's about quality. Kind of like our trades, right? You don't want to overtrade, but you do want to trade well. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys can hear me, let me know by dropping a like on a video. Helps us get on the algorithm. Speaking of the algorithm, I think I've definitely cracked a little bit of the Instagram algorithm, or excuse me, the YouTube algorithm, because my shorts are doing a lot better. So I might talk briefly about that as well. But yeah, so we'll do our stream now. We'll do a market. I'll put out a market review later on tonight, or this evening rather. You guys are also going to get the institutional order flow video. That's either going to be tonight or tomorrow. They don't, YouTube doesn't allow me to schedule a members only video. So either I just release it now as a members only or wait till tomorrow. But since you guys are getting the market review tonight, I wanted to save the institutional order flow video for Wednesday, and then Thursday you get another market review. So that's like 3 videos this week for members. You know what I mean? So you get some solid insight on what I believe about institutional order flow. You'll get some solid insight to what I've been watching, what I've been looking for. Even Siva was looking at this earlier today, and some of you were as well who were on Siva's stream. So look, that's 3 videos for members only just this week. Now, normally, fuck, man, I gotta turn the music off. Hold on, I thought I was gonna be able to do it. I can't fucking do it. I gave it my best, but I couldn't do it. What you guys got to realize too is that a lot of people who have paid content usually, I think, only put out like 1 video a week, you know, for like paid memberships. I'm giving you 3. All right, I'm giving you 3. So hopefully you can appreciate that. All right. But what's good? Ali, Trillionaire, Jesse, Kevin, Naruto, Vadu, Payne, FNM 2020. What's popping, y'all? Chat is blessed today. You got a little bit more viewers than yesterday, so I definitely like that. Let me guys know real quick. What's good, Marwin? Were you guys on Siva's YouTube earlier today? Let me ask you guys that real quick. Were you on Slaying Pip's stream this AM? Yes or no? Were you guys there or not? If you were there, you noticed that I did briefly stop by, drop by for a little bit. And my comments were really more so towards gold. So I was like, hey, do you want to, put the farm on gold? Now why would I say that though? Well, probably to be funny for one, but number two, look at what happened to gold shortly after, no pun intended. Just after we were talking about gold, it absolutely took a dump down to a specific level. What level was that? Well, that was the level I gave you yesterday. What level, John? What do you mean yesterday? Yesterday on the streams and the live sessions, if you guys remember, if you were taking notes, we talked about what? Those lows at 1955 right here. Oh, yeah, that's right. I do remember you saying yesterday that you were looking for those lows, but they never got met. Right. You may forget, I may forget, but the algorithm doesn't forget. So that 1955 level is going to be important, huh? Yeah. What was met today? That 1955 level. Oh, okay. I'm learning shit. Well, that's the whole point of you being here. That's the whole point. Now, obviously, what are we going to do with that now? I mean, I stream at 12. What are we going to do about this? Well, there's nothing to do. But I will go over this in my market review tonight. Okay? Now, as far as the content, and Trillionaire, it's his channel is Slaying Pips. Let me see if I can link it in the chat real quick. And I'll let you go subscribe. So give me a brief second here. But what's good, Willow? What's good, Vincent? I'm not sure if I can. Oh, I can pin that. Okay. 19 votes. 11% of you were there. So that's like, what's 11% of 19? 2? I guess. So 2 of you were there. All right. Well, at least somebody was there. Okay. But yeah, we talked about shorting gold up in that area. Somebody brought it up, and then I think he talked about it, and I looked at it as well, and I immediately saw something that was there. And hopefully you know what it is. But again, I'm not going to point it out to you here, but I am going to go over this tonight because that shit was beautiful. Now, some of my private students who are in the chat still, the Telegram chat that I have for them, they know. Kevin, Ali, Ibranith, and a few others. I don't know if everybody's here, but you guys know. But I'll go a little bit more in depth with that, okay? As far, I mean, shit, what we do next, I don't know. Okay, I have no idea. We've taken liquidity on 2 sides of the market, so it's hard for me to tell. I have no idea. Okay, we took a previous high, and we took at least a short-term low, and now we're back into the range. So right this instant, I have no idea. Okay, nothing that's high probability. We talked a lot about that yesterday. I may even have to clip yesterday's session. I might do that and make that a video, because we discussed briefly on why setups are high probability or not. So let me put it to you this way. When there is liquidity on both sides of the market, like meaning you have a recent high or a recent low, something like that, and price is in the middle, okay, that's not high probability trading because it could go higher, it could go lower, don't know, right? If liquidity has been taken on two sides of the market and it's back into the range, it's the same thing. It could go higher, it could go lower, it could consolidate. I don't fucking know. All right. The high probability conditions come in not just at the right time, but also when it is a lopsided market, meaning, for example, like today on gold, okay, that level we were looking for, that 1955, right? That liquidity is open at this particular point here. So what do you think is taking place right here? Right before the big sell-off, right? That's when everybody wants to get in for shorts, right before the big sell-off, right? So, but look what takes place. We had previous day high and it was actually taken during the evening, and that's interesting, but whatever. That high still was also taken later. So liquidity has been swept on the upside, but you have downside liquidity still left open. So now do you see why that's high probability? And then the fucking carnage. Okay, that's not quick. I mean, that's not like slow and steady. That's quick and dirty. You know what I mean? So that's high probability trading, is when one side of the market liquidity has been taken and the other side still has liquidity left open. All right. So that's for your notes, free of charge. All you had to do is show up. All you have to do is be here. Okay. Oh, 15% of 20. That's got to be like what, 3? Quick math. All right. So a few of you were there on the stream today. So that's great. All right. Let's go over the indices. I don't know what we're going to do here in the afternoon. I have no idea, because if I had to say, like, if I had to pick a direction, I think I would be bullish. And the only reason for that is because the micros, I think I don't need this pre-market high anymore. I had marked it up on the way lower, but that was completely obliterated by now. But we have 42.93.5 as equal highs for the S&P. However, ES does not. Okay, ES, it actually swept that previous high. So I think that could be problematic. All right, so you have an internal range liquidity here. And we did talk a lot about that yesterday as well. Internal liquidity on gold, I think. No, internal liquidity on the indices. That was here. We talked about that yesterday, right? Low, high, and then liquidity within the range. Internal range liquidity, gold did the same thing. Those equal lows were coming off of yesterday's bull candle on the daily, so that was internal range liquidity today. So hopefully you paid attention, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then I don't know what to tell you. All right, we'll have to figure it out over time. But anyways, that I think is the only justification I have for a higher S&P. It's just the micros have equal highs at 42.93.5. The SPY, the ETF, I don't know. I mean, it barely went higher. So, I don't know. I think it's hard to say. Okay, I'm not going to be able to come on here every single day and just call trades left and right, accurate. Okay, I'm better in the afternoon than the morning for the indices at least, but as of like right now, I think it is hard to say, especially when they're mixed like that. A lot of the times when they're in alignment, that's when I'm like, all right, cool, like we're good to go. If ES had equal highs, I would trust that way. Like I would trust this imbalance here way more if this was equal. If that was equal, I would probably long that. Okay, only because internal range liquidity swept. It's probably a 618, probably a little bit past that 618 level here. Okay, beautiful. We've rallied, and then we have an upside objective. Okay, so like for me, I think the micros has a pretty okay setup, but what negates that for me, having that higher level of confidence like gold, for example, is that ES, because that technically is not low resistance, that's not equal. Okay, so that kind of like makes me a little bit hesitant. But if I happen to be bullish, I would probably long this. I was looking to see if there's any if there's anything in here on like a smaller time frame, like a potential mitigation or anything, but I don't really see something that I would like or prefer. But if we were like strictly off a 5 minute, I think that imbalance would be all right. Okay. The NASDAQ, I was watching this during lunch, and this was actually pretty clean. We took a previous high. What's today? Today is Tuesday. So this was London's high. So with that in mind, all right, I'm really struggling to draw this fucking box up here. All right. So with that in mind, that to me was like, okay, distribution, break of structure, 1 minute imbalance right there. All right. And then we came down just like S&P took a short-term low, inner range liquidity, right? From this low up to this high. That's your only low that is obvious. Okay. There was a presentation I did recently. I think it was the Successful Traders Trio. And I said, if it's obvious to you, it's obvious to everyone else. But if you don't know what that means, like just bear with me, keep watching. Here you have it. If it's obvious to you, it's obvious to everyone else. Bam. Right? So why do you think the market happens to just run straight there and then reverse? I mean, it looks like manipulation. Because anyone who was long, they're going to have their stops at that low or below it. Bam. They got knocked out. Okay? But I was just watching like the sell-off. So it was fun to watch. I didn't participate, but just kind of chilling on that. All right. So the S&P does look like it hit that lower imbalance here. That would need to hold for me to believe that we would be sending this higher. Like that's a pretty good reaction off the 5 minute. So there's a little bit of a top down for you, like 5 minute imbalance, and then you see a 1 minute imbalance within that. Like that's solid. I think if we are going to trade higher, it should do that from here. It should do that from here. You have a nice down candle here and a fractal low, so I wouldn't want this low to be taken. So if it was me, let me see if we can 1 to 3 off of that lower, or excuse me, off the higher entry is there. If you were longing this, you could probably bump the target down a little bit. Now, I'm not saying to take this trade. Okay, I'm not saying to take this trade. But I would probably trust that down candle. And I would need to see, again, a reaction. I wouldn't want to see this close either below the imbalance or, you know, something to, or even, yeah, below the imbalance or something like that. If we just get a nasty lower candle, then I wouldn't be bullish anymore. So I'd probably wait for this candle to close and really see what happens. The Dow not showing bullishness at all. I mean, it swept a short-term low, then swept a short-term low again. We have some lows here, and it looks like it's just giving up. I mean, it's not hardly rallying at all. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit more justification for why I'd be a little bit reluctant to go long here. NASDAQ, just like I opened up with, it's hard to say because we have liquidity that's already been taken on the upside. And then we have a short-term low that was also taken. And now we're in the range again. So it's hard to justify. Okay? It's hard to justify. This candle that's printing right here, that's not what you want to see if you're long. So, like, if I had long something like this, if my stop was at this low, I'd probably give it a couple more minutes, but it's either needs to show that reaction or it's just going to completely obliterate and go lower. And I'm the type of person that I would rather close out of my trade before the stop gets hit. I don't like taking full losses. I mean, it happens, but it's I don't always like that, you know. So anyway, I did post a YouTube short 5 hours ago. I got almost 900 views on it. So that's pretty cool. But I'll give you guys some social media tips and tricks as well pretty soon. Let me see. So the Dow swept those lows. The S&P hit that down candle. That might be accumulation. NASDAQ not having the same retracement as the S&P. You see the difference there? Much deeper retracement on S&P versus the NASDAQ. So yeah, if I was long here, I would watch this pretty closely. I wouldn't want to overmanage it. I've been known to fucking do that before. But if I'm wrong, I don't want to stay wrong. Okay? With what you just saw, that's not what you want to see in a long position. How it just completely just sunk like that. That's not what you want to see. So you see how price is trading below that, the body of that down candle? That's usually not good. That's usually not good. Dow taking that low from the morning session. So that's a yikes. And I think the NASDAQ, that would put us right there at this imbalance here. So, again, we'll have to see. We will have to see. And I'm not, that was just for this one here. But anyways, what I was talking about was the YouTube shorts. All right. So the first couple of YouTube shorts that I've done, I knew they were going to get low views because they were my first few shorts. So, you know, the algorithm doesn't know that I'm putting out content yet. And obviously I didn't do the right things, like with the description and hashtags, titles. Dude, I was like putting hashtags in my title. Like, I was terrible. I was fucking that up. And then also just the type of content that I was putting out was not the best for shorts. So if you guys are big on social media, like you want to learn like social media, Instagram, Twitter, shit like that, I can teach you a few things that I've done in the past. I'm I mean, I feel like I don't have the most followers in the world. I don't have the most engagement in the world, but I do have a book that ran a #1 on Amazon. I have over 9,000 on Instagram, so I have a little bit of merit, I would say. So the algorithms are definitely different for Instagram, for Twitter, and for YouTube. Okay, but what I believe, and especially with YouTube Shorts, is that it's not always about the quality of the content. It's really more so about retention. It's about user retention. If you can keep people watching your video, oh, look at that imbalance there on the NASDAQ. If you can keep people watching your video, then the algorithm will recognize that and put it in front of more people. So this is kind of what happened over a long period of time when it comes to media, okay? Because I'm someone who believes that you should not watch television, okay? I don't trust the news. I think it's all bullshit, all right? But if you, because Ryan Holiday talks about this too in his first book, Trust Me, I'm Lying, Secrets of a Media Manipulator, some shit like that. I read it. But basically what happened a long time ago, for example, when they had newspapers, okay? The newspaper companies or these publishing companies, what would happen is they would put out their content, right? Now, the thing is when it came to the business side of it, it wasn't about being right. It eventually became about being first. So you might have a more accurate story, but if your newspaper got put out an hour, 2 hours, later after everyone else, you're done, because everyone's buying, the other newspaper that came out first. So what happened is the accuracy of content went to shit. All right. So it didn't become about accuracy. It became about being first. So with YouTube, it's almost like the same thing, where it's not even about really anything other than retention. If you can hold somebody's attention, then the algorithm's going to put you on. You know what I mean? And so you'll notice that. Okay? You'll notice that when you see people that are promoting, like, I don't know, fucking trend lines and moving averages. I mean, they're getting 100,000, 200,000 views. And then you see people, like me, who do shit like call gold shorts or yesterday's internal liquidity, that are just like market turning points, right? But we're not on the same scale as in terms of followers and subscribers, right? So it's not about accuracy, it's about attention, So if you're going to get into stuff like that, you want to make Instagram reels, or you want to make YouTube shorts or whatever, then you got to learn how to hold people's attention. Because what happens is you release a video and YouTube will see how many people are either watching it or clicking away from it. So if they're clicking away from it the first few seconds, the algorithm is going to not push your content in front of other people. All right? It's not going to do it. It's going to promote other people's videos that are getting better retention. So you could have, really solid content. I can make a video on mitigation, for example, and it could be a well thought out video. I could spend a lot of time on it. I could make it very detailed and intricate, and then, release it. And then nothing may happen. Whereas you have some goober who's throwing a bucket over someone's head and going, hee hee hee, and running away, and they're getting millions of views. It's like, It's not about the quality of your content. It's about retention. Who's watching your videos all the way through, and that's how you get viewers. That's how you get, you know, all that. So it's hard, man. Content creation is difficult. So just know that. Because like, let me look at this real quick while we continue to watch these markets. I'm trying to see what we do here, man, because it's hard to say. I can tell you if I was long, I'd be irritated as fuck. Because it's spending a lot of time at that down candle there. And I don't like that. But anyway, let me show you what I'm talking about. Or at least let me tell you. So the philosophy favorites, right? I talk about books. 60 views. Opening price logic, 100 views. The Seneca quote, 50 views, right? Mitigation model, 480 views. Do hard things first, 1.9k views. And then dichotomy of control, 250 views. Acquisition versus retention, 320 reviews. And the one I posted 3 hours ago, 700, actually I think it's more than that, 884. So you can see you go from 30, 40, 50 to like 2k, and now I'm back to like 1,000 or 800 or so. So there's definitely a difference, man, in what you have to do. And the thing is, I'm telling you this because it's exponential. It's exponential. So yeah, it's content creation is fucking hard, man. Trading's hard too. I think the better play here was definitely NASDAQ. So did you notice how when we talked about the S&P retracing deeper, right, that especially here, how it traded below the body of that, I said like that's not really what you want to see. That deep ass retracement here, that was the 618 for the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ to me does look stronger in that sense. So if we longed this imbalance, I think it'd be okay to go break even now, but I would probably rather see this high, like I would want to see us kind of push through that, and then I would probably consider going break even. If I was in an open trade right now, I wouldn't want the NASDAQ to come back down to this imbalance. I would want to see us just take off from here. The S&P is spending a lot of time at that 80 level, 4280. Spending a lot of time there. And that's usually not good. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the impatience is coming out of me, but I'm just trying to give you my thought process here. Okay? So, anyways, I think I have another reel. I have an Instagram reel coming out at the top of the hour. So in 23 minutes. That'll be cool. I talk about how I want to see us trade above this high, just so you know. I don't talk about that in my reel, but I talk about how, this is what happened, not today, yesterday morning. Let me tell you what happened. All right? I almost cried. I went to my mini fridge, okay? I walked over to my mini fridge, no energy drinks, all right? I was devastated. So I said, oh, fuck. I need to go to the store. So I went to the store. On the way to the store, I see a school bus coming into the neighborhood. And when I get to the store, I see a lot of people in work uniforms. So I see a couple of different nurses. They were wearing scrubs. I saw actually a lot of distributors, excuse me. So people that come in to restock the shelves at the grocery store, like the guys with the sodas, like the people that restock the bread and whatever. Like there was almost a distributor on every single aisle. And I'm going, damn. And then obviously the people that work at Kroger that, they were there, to work as well. I grab a coffee. There's a lady behind the counter at the Starbucks, she's doing her thing too. And so I noticed all this. And mind you, this is like 9 a.m. I mean, I'm like half asleep. I don't even remember pulling up to the grocery store. I must have been just sleep driving or some shit. But anyway, so I stopped for a minute, stoically, of course. And I think to myself, I'm like, dude, this is what Marcus Aurelius must have felt 2000 or 1900 years ago when he was writing in Meditations. The birds are doing what they need to do. The ants and all the insects are doing their part in nature. And I need to do my part in nature. So what am I brought into this world to do? And I need to get out of bed and to do that. So I'm telling you this because it's a very humbling and interesting feeling to just kind of observe what's around you and go, wow, everybody's doing their part. I mean, like nobody was just chilling or, sleeping in. It's literally everybody's running around doing their job, making coffee, putting up shit on shelves, driving past that school bus, right? And so I'm just like, wow, the world is moving, So I just hope that one day you guys get that feeling too. If you haven't experienced something like that before, it's just humbling. That's all. It's really hard to explain the feeling if you haven't done something like that before. So does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense, or if you just think I'm talking out of my ass. Let me know. Yeah, see, look how many candles we've sat here. You see that? I'm going to take that 1 minute off, but do you see how much time we've spent here? I can tell you right now, if I was long, I'd get the fuck out of here. I wouldn't hold this anymore. NASDAQ, I would hold if we were in from down here. That's okay. There's definitely some space there. There's no space on the S&P. Okay, there's just no space. It's just chilling around the entry, and I don't like that. Dow, same thing. It's just chilling. It's not moving. NASDAQ is the only one that actually gave a decent response on the upside. Shit, now, if anything, it left equal highs. So that's always nice. Great. Makes sense? All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate that. But another thing I've noticed is I went to this one guy's page. I saw his reel. He made a pretty good reel, right? Looped it, all that kind of shit. So I go to his page. And I go to all his reels. This guy is killing it. I mean, I'm talking 100,000, 200,000, 600,000 views on a lot of his different reels, right? I'm like, all right, how many subscribers does this guy have? Fucking like 1,800. Not even 2,000 subscribers. And this man was pulling in probably over 1 million views. So at the same time, I think it's hard to justify running up shorts if it doesn't get you subscribers. S&P still around that 80 level. What else do you guys want me to look at? Unless you just want to chill here on the indices. Because I think all the movement was like I think the play of the day was on gold. Period. My mom is reading your book. All right. Well, I hope she learned something. Took a loss on our longs. I think my timing was off on euro. On the euro, huh? Well, I do want to keep an eye on the indices, but we'll take a look at the euro. You said you went long on euro? When did you go long? That's interesting. Because there's Monday's high. There's Monday's low. I think that's Asia here. And London is here. So London is, I mean, it does trade a little bit above yesterday's high and then sinks, retraces, and then sinks, retraces, and then sinks below yesterday's low. So were you here earlier when I was talking about how probabilities are lowered when you have liquidity that has been taken on both sides? So, because I mean, think about it. You have, and you can drop the chart. I'll look at it. You can have, or excuse me, what you're asking for is, okay, big ass movement from above yesterday's high to below yesterday's low, and now trying to go long, it's like you're asking for another move back up. And it's like, it's already seen such a big move today on an intraday basis. I mean, at least for euro, 50 pips may not be like a lot for other currencies, but I'd say about probably 60, maybe 70, 75 pips or so. Obviously, depending on, you know, what measurement you're going to take, but in a general sense, yeah, that's about 50 to 60 pips. So for me, trying to go long, expecting a lot to the upside, it's asking for a lot, you know? British pound, not the same. It's slightly different. It did take Monday's high. Dropped it lower. It just didn't make a new low. It just traded into this imbalance from yesterday and it's slightly higher, but hopefully I've made that point of it's demanding a lot. All right. But yeah, if you can drop your chart, that would be great. Matter of fact, let's take a look at the dollar real quick. I think this looks ugly. I think this looks just terrible. A lot of wicks on the upside here, and even yesterday, and then like with today. I don't know. It's not giving me anything clear, to be honest. So with that, it was hard to really confirm anything on the indices either. Like there wasn't really strong confluence that I found to be able to match that with the indices. Okay, even like gold, we looked for those gold shorts, even though I don't think the dollar did the same thing. I don't know. I have to go line it up. But at the time that gold was trading lower, I don't think you saw the same volatility on the dollar. So It's just one of those days. You know what I mean? But let me see if we can do something here. Actually, we'll go to the indices and then overlap the dollar. And see what's going on. Yuck. Yuck. We'll just keep the S&P for a minute then. All right. So, as far as 5-minute time frame, there is a general inverse here, right? Where you had a higher dollar and a lower S&P, right? So the dollar topped out, traded lower, S&P bottomed out, traded higher. So in a general sense, all right, cool. There's some correlation there. But now you're seeing where the dollar makes a high here and has been sliding lower. And then you see that same thing on S&P. Where, all right, it made a high, but now dollar's trading lower, and then the indices are also trading lower. So this is exactly what I talk about when people ask me about like indices and dollar or gold and dollar. There are going to be times where it's going to be very clear and obvious, and then there's going to be other times where they essentially they are correlated or like inversely correlated, but then they'll fall in and out a lot. And like that, to me, it makes it not as reliable versus using something like relative strength. You see what I'm saying? So again, higher dollar, lower S&P, but then now you have a lower dollar and a lower S&P. So that correlation going in and out, or like the inverse correlation going in and out, to me, I just don't know, find it as useful, I guess, as other people. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, we haven't made a new high yet. Looks like it's a little bit reluctant to do that. Very small range, 15-minute candles. We've actually been getting some decent range candles, and then we're in small ranges again. So it's hard to say. But are you surprised though? Like, does this surprise you? I don't think we have a one-sided market right now. So we might not be here all day. Definitely not going to be here all day. But like I said, in case you got here a little bit late, I'm dropping a market review tonight. So that's going to be for tier 1 and 2 members. Thursday is tier 2 only. I'll do the institutional order flow video tomorrow. And then Thursday, you'll get the second and last review for this week. So you'll get 3 membership only videos this week. Just so you know. What I need to start doing probably is putting that out on the community page or putting that somewhere. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, as far as possibly either putting a Telegram together or putting a Discord together. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to give you anything definitively yet. Matter of fact, let's do that as a poll real quick. No, Marwin, oh, that's, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because one of my other students brought that up last week as well. So the schedule is the same as far as the times, but I'm not going to be live streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays anymore. The market reviews are going to be put out as videos. So instead of going live at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to put a video out at 7 p.m. Eastern. Because, number one, when I put out a video, I can control who sees it, tier 1, tier 2, or everybody, or whatever. And then on top of that, with the recording, that's how you're able to get captions. And I can do editing, like if I want to zoom in on something, or, you know, something like that, I can do that. I can't do that with a live session. And see, we're back into that imbalance. So if I was long on NASDAQ, I'd probably be breaking even here, because I wouldn't want to hold this anymore, which means the S&P probably is going to go ahead and trade a little bit lower. So you guys see why I don't like when price dances around entries? Do you guys see that now? Like, do you see why? If we're bullish, it should trade up. And if it doesn't, then I'm probably not right. And it's either going to consolidate or trade lower. Okay? This could still hold. It could. But I don't really like that, you know? But yeah, oh, that's right. Let me do the poll real quick. So what would you guys prefer? Like, what platform do you prefer for a community? So it would be like either Telegram or a Discord. I don't know what other community platforms there are off the top of my head right now. What would you guys rather be in? Now, mind you, I'm asking about a paid membership. Meaning like probably a tier 3. Either a Telegram or a Discord. What do you guys prefer? Uh, 2020, it wouldn't be on top of YouTube. It would just be like a tier 3. And I would probably, I don't know if I can rename them. If I could rename them, I probably will. But I'm not running a Telegram or a Discord for a $9.99 membership. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fucking happen. So there's like 30 of you on here. I only got 10 votes so far, so make sure you guys vote. Make sure you guys vote. Man, it just really gave up that imbalance, huh? Which means the S&P probably gave up those lows. There are those lows, and Dow's probably lower as well. Look at that. Terrible. Terrible. So look at this. Wait. Yeah, never mind. Never mind, never mind. I was looking up here for like a divergence, but you actually see the NASDAQ going higher, the S&P going higher, but the Dow going lower. So I would have preferred like if only one of them went higher, but it's all right. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Discord, I find it can be more organized with subfolders. Telegram, you'd have to scroll through things. Well, there's one group that I'm in, and Telegram also has a feature very similar to that, where you could have a Telegram group that has different, I guess, chats within that. But it's still, to me, not as clean as Discord. You can actually do a lot more with Discord, I think, than you can with Telegram. YouTube integrations, all type of third-party integrations. It would probably be easier to keep shit together. Like lists, like book recommendations and, you know, announcements tabs for when, you know, videos drop or whatever. And it's another way to connect with all of you without having to go like through my Instagram. I don't mind it though. I don't, you know, because my Instagram is, that's where I get the most views out of everything, is on Instagram. Why I didn't run out my other social medias throughout the year, I don't know. That was a goober mistake. That was a big old goober mistake. Ooh, excuse me. So 15 votes, 2/3 for Telegram and only 1/3 for Discord. You guys really like Telegram more than Discord? Telegram, I feel like, is really good for people who are on the go. Like if you're at work, Telegram I think is cool, because Discord is very complex. So on the PC, Discord I think is best. On mobile, I think Telegram is probably where it's at. Well, like I said, guys, I got to figure it out. Because again, you know, when I launched my memberships, it wasn't for that originally. It was just for the sniper and the emojis and maybe like a couple videos that are, you know, different. But these fucking idiots I used to work for or work with, whatever, I think word got around that I was doing private content, but I think they thought I was doing the same content as what I was doing. You know, like I think they thought I was duplicating my content from a private platform onto YouTube. And if that's what they thought, they are fucking retarded. Because you guys know what's in the membership only videos, and they were not the same shit. Oh, I heard you launched memberships. Yeah, there's like 2 videos. And neither one of them are price action related. So what the fuck are you talking about? Communication issue. It's that's one of the qualities of a great leader is communication, which again, I've already worked on that presentation. I got a little bit more to do on that, but that's like the number 2. That's the number 2 quality of a solid leader is communication. Because when you operate out of a lack of communication, you're fucked. Well, I heard this, I heard that. Well, I heard you're a fucking retard. How about that? How about that? I heard this, I heard that. Bitch, you sound like you're in fucking 8th grade. I heard this. Get the fuck out of here. You got people in their 30s and their 40s, probably in their 50s, talking about, I heard from such and such. All right. Okay. Fucking adult day. I should start an adult daycare. That's what the fuck I should start. I'll probably make a lot of money doing that. I'll probably get really rich doing that shit. Shit, man, I got ideas, huh? Y'all should start writing writing half that shit down. But anyways, Allie doesn't like Discord. We're up to 21 votes, still 2/3 for Telegram, 1/3 for Discord. Man, honestly, I'm surprised. I really am. I thought you guys were gonna like Discord more so than Telly. The old Telly. And that's the thing, 2020, I wasn't copy and pasting. But I am gonna upload videos of those old presentations though. But just shorter videos. No more 1-hour videos. That's one thing I've always been against. I made my YouTube channel 8 years ago yesterday. You guys know yesterday was my 8th birthday. My YouTube channel's 8th birthday. I made my YouTube channel and I put videos out that were between 20 to 30 minutes. Because at the time, a lot of people were putting out content that was way too long, an hour, 2 hours. I'm like, dude, nobody who works 40, 50 hours a week wants to watch a fucking 2-hour video. They don't. They want to get home and sure, they're going to want to learn, but they're not going to want to watch an hour and a half video. They're just not going to want to do it. But they'll watch a 20-minute video. Because I was in the working class back then. I was in the Navy. I know what it's like. Work all day, you come home, you're tired. You don't want to sit through a fucking 3-hour video or 1-hour video. So I was like, you know what? I'll take what I know and I'll make shorter videos. Literally, that was the purpose of my YouTube. That was the whole point of me starting a channel. And then I did kind of okay. I mean, I got a few hundred followers or subscribers, whatever. And then over time, I got more and more. But I was off YouTube for like a block of like 4 years, you know? So I'm on it again now, but that was the whole point. So back to the original point. I'm still going to give you guys content, but I think the longest possible video I'll ever do, probably 30 minutes. I mean, you look at that MLM video. By the way, did you guys like that video? Because so far I've gotten only positive feedback from the problems within the MLM industry video. I've only gotten good things so far from that. That was like 31 or 32 minutes. Because it was just straight to the point. Here's a problem, here's a solution. Here's a problem, here's a solution. All right, see you later. Done. It's not like a live stream where, we're talking about different things and kind of chilling and bullshitting or whatever. It's like, no, we're getting straight to the point and we're cutting all that extra shit out because you don't need it. But I couldn't do that back then It had to be a certain amount of time, which I understand. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but again, everything I do is for you guys. So I would rather have shorter videos. It doesn't take 45 minutes to explain what a mitigation is. It doesn't take 45 minutes. It doesn't take 30 minutes. I could tell you what a mitigation is, bullish and bearish, give you like probably 10 examples of each in like 15 minutes. Now, obviously, your understanding is not going to be the same in 15 minutes. It's going to be up to you to backtest and to study and stuff like that. But out of all the time that people have, the majority of your time should not be watching content, in my opinion. I think the majority of the time that you spend should be on like backtesting and journaling and stuff like that. If all you do is watch videos and backtest a little bit, like that's not, I wouldn't do it that way. And we just swept that short-term low, didn't we? So notice that. Let's come back to reality for a minute. We have a higher low on NASDAQ and a lower low on S&P. So this looks like manipulation. This looks like accumulation. We do have those highs up here. So if this is accumulation on NASDAQ, then we should be able to see 14,581. So many digits on the NASDAQ here. It's ridiculous. Just going to open up a new tab over here. Don't mind if I do. NASDAQ is the only index that has traded higher when the other indices have been lower. So that may be something useful. But anyway. More freedom here, reach more people. Yes, that's true as well. Yeah, Jesse, accurate. Accurate. And that's the biggest thing as an educator, man. Is that I could teach so many different things. And I'm going to teach you guys all this shit. But it's not going to matter unless you want to know it. It's not going to matter. I could tell you exactly how to have high retention in your business. You know what I mean? How to be a leader, how to take care of people, how to not be a goober. You know? But people just aren't going to pay attention. And normally the people with the most problems are the one who pay the least attention. So it sucks, but that's the reality we live in. Anyway. You know, there was a point in history where after I read all those books on leadership, I was like, you know what? Leaders need to know this shit. I went through all those books so that way other people didn't have to. I mean, I would still want them to, but let's be honest. Nobody is going to read 10 to 12 books on leadership, much less within like 6 months. No one's going to do that shit. I did because I wanted to know. I wanted to learn. in John Maxwell. I like the way he writes. I like the way he presents his information. It's very analytical, data driven. I like it. Right? That's what keeps me reading it. And, there's only a little bit of fluff here and there, but ultimately it's pretty good. So, I have presentations on leadership. I have ideas, and it was more so tailored, obviously, for like MLMs, but it doesn't really make a difference, all that much of a difference when it comes to leadership. So, I had ideas, but a few people were willing to hear me out, but not everybody. It's hard to get a group of people, especially leaders, to actually get them on a call. Number one, that's the first fucking problem, is getting them on the call. That was the biggest barrier I had. So we couldn't even get to the second and third or fourth problem. The second one being knowing the information, and then the third problem would be implementing the information. So number one, you got to get people to show up. Number two, you got to get them to learn some shit. And then number three, you got to get them to implement what they've learned. It's a 3-step process, and it's difficult as fuck. It's difficult. I couldn't do it. I failed at that. I'll just be honest. It's straight up. I failed at that. But if Epictetus were here, he'd probably say, John, you don't control other people. You don't control whether they show up. You don't control if they pay attention. You don't control if they implement the information. And he would be right. I don't control that. I only control my effort. So, you would think that everybody would want input or ideas, and to see what can we do better and this, that, and the third. But not everybody's just going to be open for that interpretation. It's the same thing with philosophy, bro. When you read about philosophy, Stoic philosophy more specifically, when you read shit like discipline is destiny, stillness is the key, the art of living, discourses, the Enchiridion, meditations, when you read that stuff, you're going to have such an elevated mindset over everyone else. Now, it's not for that purpose. It's not, to tell yourself, well, I'm better than everyone else. Like, that's not the point. But I'm saying that when other people don't do any type of personal development, but you do personal development, you're just going to be different from other people, and you're going to notice that difference. And you're going to go, dude, there's so many things about Stoicism, man. Let me put you onto meditations. Let me put you onto this and that. But they're not going to care. Those people are not going to give a fuck. And it's sad because the power behind it. It's just like trading too. You guys might really have a passion for trading like I do and the Trade House does. You might be telling your friends, oh man, you should get on trading. You should get on trading. And they're just going to brush you off like, nah, fuck that. Fuck that. It's discouraging. I mean, if you let it be. But, at the end of the day, I can only give you my best. I can only, present, give you ideas and theories and information. But what you do with it is totally up to you. But again, I think the most difficult, or not difficult, but the most frustrating thing about all of it is that you would think that we're all on the same team, right? We're in this together. We're a family. We're this, we're that. And then, but yet some people don't act like it though. So I don't know, man. I couldn't figure it out. I could not figure it out. So look, I try. I do my best. I do what I think would work, but it doesn't always work. I put out a reel, it flops. I put out a certain video like on about ChatGPT, it flops. I mean, what do you expect? I put out a video on how to accelerate your MLM business. How to completely change your like the MLM industry altogether. But they're not going to listen. You know why? Because they're going to look at they're probably going to look at who it's coming from, right? So they're going to look at me and they're going to be like, "Oh, well John, you know, he wasn't a chairman. He wasn't a fucking this or that. All right, he was an educator, cool, but you know, he didn't you know, do this or do that." So they're just going to brush it off like, "Oh, he don't know shit." As if I didn't learn leadership from John Maxwell, who's been teaching leadership for like 50 fucking years. Or as if I didn't learn about business from a little bit about business from Joey Coleman, who's been studying business for over 2 decades, 20 years. So it's not coming from me per se. I mean, I am saying it and presenting the information, but the proof is coming from people who have 50 years under their belt, 20 years under their belt. I mean, what the fuck? You know? And so they're just going to look at their own success, and then they're going to look at my success, and they're just going to be like, "Oh no, I can't learn from that guy." I know this. There are certain things I want to tell you that I'm not going to. There are certain conversations that I have heard about, okay? Similar conversations, by the way, not just like, "Oh, I heard from such and such," like I mentioned earlier. No, like 2 or 3, 4 different people told me about a specific conversation that has been had from a certain individual, okay? Trust me when I say this. People will not pay attention. I promise. They won't. The people that should be paying attention are not going to pay attention. This is a fact. Okay? I know. I know this. So, what are you going to do? Naruto says, "I've been getting better at not being discouraged by others. I believe most people are wrong about most things most of the time." Accurate. So when most people I talk to are on the same page and I'm not, good. Yeah. I mean, yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Just trying to crunch some numbers over here. Don't worry about me. I think it's a little difficult to do anything in here with what we have. So what I'm looking at is what we're doing in here. And I'm trying to frame an idea for those equal highs. And I just do not know. I feel like this would be a little bit too tight, to be honest. Like this imbalance here. Something like that. I could see that, but today might be one of those days to wait for the final hour. I wouldn't take this. If those highs are left open, I'd probably give it that 2 to 3 time. We would need to see some evidence, and it's immediately trading a little bit lower. And again, I'm saying it's hard to say because the 5 minutes not really displaying all that much. The only thing you'd be going off of is the 1 minute. And I just don't know if that's entirely what I would want to do there. Ooh. Excuse me. Oh, look at that. Sneezed and went long. Oh, fuck. I'm just kidding. That'd be kind of cool, though, right? Like you sneeze and all of a sudden you're in a trade. Pressing the wrong button. All right. Anyway, we got 36 votes, 72% for Telegram, 28% for Discord. Wow. If I would have put money on that, I would have lost. I would have lost. I really would have thought Discord. That Dow looks so terrible. All right. Anyways, I'll watch this for a few more minutes with you guys, but I think we're pretty much close to calling it a day. You guys have any last minute questions before we hop off here? Oh, and there's your alert for today too. I don't think we did one yesterday. The alert would be 14,580.5 for the NASDAQ if we were going to do an alert today. And I had a light breakfast for lunch. So I'm going to need to eat some real food here in a minute. Appreciate that, Ednan. Thank you as well for being here. What else do we have here? Is there anyone silver that's here? Naruto's green. Trillionaire's silver. I'll have to get the exact dates of when we started the membership, so we'll have specific dates for when some of you guys are going to change colors. Like a chameleon. And I think, I haven't checked in a while, but I think we might have more room for another emoji, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, fuck. I guess it was that imbalance then. I guess that was the play there. That woman, it did close. It respected that. Yeah, fuck. I guess that was it. Well, there's your 618 imbalance. This is ugly, but you do have this group of 1 minute down candles here as well. So again, accumulation. I mean, this wasn't even a break of structure or anything, but it showed your accumulation, then it rallied, and then retracement. So what do you think is high probability here? If we accumulated here, we have open liquidity on the upside. What do you think is high probability? Probably upside. Okay. So that's what I'll leave you with. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Don't forget, I'll put out that review a little bit later. And then tomorrow will be the order flow video. All right. So thanks, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow.